You are listening to the Shift Your Practice podcast with your hosts, Natalie Beauchamp and digital marketing strategist Brandy Kinnear. Both successful seven-figure practice creators in the natural health industry, they've teamed up to bring practitioners all their best business tips, growth strategies, technology tips, and practice marketing tools so you can reach financial freedom. Freedom from overwhelm and start living the life you want on purpose, not by default. This candid duo is keeping it real and straight from the heart. So buckle up and enjoy the ride, and please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shift Your Practice podcast. My name is Dr. Natalie Beauchamp, your co-host, and I'm here today with my co-host, Brandy Kinnear. Hi, Brandy.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
So we're super excited because right now we are in the launch phase of our Marketing and Practice Growth Summit. Actually, the launch went live a few days ago, and Brandy and I are super excited to get started on the summit, which is going to be going live October 16th to the 20th. So Brandy and I thought today we would talk about what is being covered in the summit when it comes to the different topics, and then we can share some light on the highlights that were revealed from our speakers. So Brandy, do you want to get started with the first line of topic, because you ended up interviewing many of the doctors and experts in that category?
Yeah, so I just want to start off first by saying, if you're listening to us on a podcast, that's great. If you want to go and watch this live, you can join us on Facebook where we live stream our podcast. And if you have any questions, please drop them, or comments, please say hi, drop them in the notes below. So the one thing that I think we also need to start with too, Nat, is the reason why we created this summit. So Nat and I have been chatting for about a year on how we can help women amplify their voices in the natural health industry, what some of the problems are, how it's a really male-dominated industry as far as the coaches, the marketing tactics and tools, and how women are really playing small. And we know that in order to grow awareness to the natural health industry, we have to help more practitioners find their voice, stand out as the experts that they are, and really amplify their impact in their communities, some people globally, nationally, whatever that means to you. So the way we solve this problem is by putting together this 5-day online summit that literally covers everything from tips, tools, success stories, and strategies from 40 top industry leaders in the natural health space. This summit is literally for everybody that's in natural health, whether you're a chiropractor, a naturopath, anybody that's working with patients in the natural health space is going to get major pearls, rose gold is what we call it, rose gold from this summit. And so we started off with talking about expert positioning. And expert positioning is it can be really complicated for a lot of people, but we were able to pull together some of the brightest minds in the space and get some really specific information on what you need to be doing to grow your brand. So one of the chats I had was with Katie Ellenberger, and she's the owner of Spark Creative 27. She's literally won 17 awards for her work in brand design in the space. And she shared with us basically how to build a better customer experience by using your brand. So she really dropped some pearls about what you need to have, congruency with your brand. Maybe it's time to do a brand refresh, understanding when to dive into that, and then how to go about doing it. So I thought that was brilliant. Nat, who were you speaking with in the expert positioning that you want to share?
I have to smile and laugh, Brandy, because you can tell who's a driver in this relationship. I'm like, let's go, we're excited, let's talk about it. But to parlay into why we created the summit, and thank you for bringing this to the forefront, because I think it's crucial. And I think too is, I've been in practice for 23 years and things are changing so much when it comes to marketing. I mean, relationship wise and what we do inside of our practice, it's still that heart to heart and need to need conversation that we have with our patients, but it's the way people are consuming information now. When I see my 71-year-old uncle that I never, suspected ever that would get addicted to Facebook, who now, sends me message on Facebook. It just shows how people are consuming the information differently. So for the expert positioning, I had the pleasure of interviewing Angus Pike, and he basically delivered 3 secrets or 3 types of video that we should be making on a regular basis to reach our audience. And of course, Dr. Matthew Loop, who is well known to the chiropractic industry with his book, Social Media Made Me Rich. And Matthew is great with social media and marketing, but he really gets branding and positioning. Brandy, you had the pleasure of meeting Matthew when we were at ChiroFest, and I think you could, really get a good sense of how much of an expert he is.
Well, and what I like about Matthew too is that he's a super heart-centered guy, and that's really what we wanted to pull together, is people that weren't just doing great things, but could do it and how it relates to the natural health industry. So I had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Megan Walker. She broke down how to build an expert talk that sells. I also had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Bob Hoffman, who broke down, and a lot of people in the chiropractic space will have heard of him. He's been doing amazing things, kind of legendary, I guess, as far as his experience in the space. He broke down how to stay relevant in an ever-changing marketplace. And he had some great pearls of what you need to make sure that you're doing, because he talks about all of the aspects of what hasn't changed in chiropractic specifically, and what you need to be paying attention to now, and how there's so much evolved opportunities that most practitioners aren't taking advantage of. So his presentation was really great for that. And I also had the great pleasure of speaking with Paula Rizzo. So Paula Rizzo is a top PR expert, and she talked all about how to get PR opportunities for your brand. She's been a Fox News editor. She has been in the space. She's a New Yorker. She's been in the space for, I want to say 20 years, worked with top natural health brands, and has done some amazing things. And she just broke down the pearls of what you need to pay attention to when it comes to attracting PR.
That's great. Our second category was tools for growth. And I know 2 of the interviews that I did one was with Dr. Alan Weinstein, and he basically shared with us 10 questions that you need to be able to answer for patients to make sure that, they come to your practice. I also interviewed Dr. Sherry McAllister, and her organization is doing wonderful things to create material for chiropractors and advertising and communicating, just pulling a bunch of resources together for practitioner to have access. And by doing so, they're able to do billboard ads. And I was floored when I saw what she was talking about. So she shared with us some great tools also as giveaways for people to introduce to their practice.
Yeah. And I spoke with quite a few practitioners and experts in this space. It's one of my favorite parts of marketing. And I had the great pleasure of talking with Elise Dharma, who's an Instagram expert, Bo Pierce, who breaks down how to build a ton of social media content without, spending all your time doing it. I spoke with Chad Woolner, Dr. Chad Woolner. He is a funnel expert, using funnels to drive traffic to your patients. I also spoke with Mark Wade, who broke down the fastest way to generate leads and still position yourself as an expert in your community. So that was great. And then also I did a talk on how to use quizzes as a lead magnet to generate leads for your practice. So I felt like this was really tactical. This section was really intended for you to get short, easy action steps. And, Nat didn't nor none of us have mentioned yet, but we actually created a playbook for everybody. So if they're in the summit and they've upgraded, they get access to this playbook, which really helps you go through each of the expert talks. We pulled out their key action or their key takeaways and action steps to go with it. We want this summit to be so impactful that you can literally take something that could possibly change the trajectory of your business and just implement it immediately. So this category was tactical, straight goods, just great information on what steps you need to take to do stuff in your business.
And I can see myself giving some of the talks for my staff to listen to, because when you're a practitioner, we're talking and talking, and we always give the example: if you go to conference and you don't bring your staff with you, you come back and you're like, woohoo, let's do this, and your staff's like, oh God, here we go again. I know my staff is like that often. So for me to have access to the recording, obviously I do weekly training with my staff, and the way we do it now is a piece of education through video. So I can see myself, picking certain topics and making sure that my team, so it's giving you a bit of a break as a doctor, because the message is going to be, congruent with what you're doing in the practice, but let somebody else maybe inspire your own staff.
Well, and it's not even just only empowering your practice. A lot of people have what we would call, Nat and I coined Frankenstein marketing, where you've got a whole bunch of people working on things in your business. You've got a webmaster, which I don't even think they should be called webmasters anymore. I feel like that's a total passé term, but everybody seems to have one. Then they maybe have a social media person. They have a few different things. And the reality is, if you're not the one driving the opportunities, you're not the one saying, hey, look, let's try this and let's test this. You're relying on everybody else. And that's a big challenge for you. So you can get some pearls and then deliver them to the people that are working with you to help you grow in your business.
Yeah. Another thing, Brandy, that we may have forgotten to mention is the summit is free. So make sure that you sign up, and the website is marketingandpracticegrowthsummit.com. And it's free. And if you have the time to listen to all the speaker that day, no cost to you. But if you want to upgrade to the recording, you can do so as well. And like we mentioned, the playbook's going to be huge, because I know myself, I've subscribed to many different summits, and the one that I seem to get the most of are the one that have a playbook, that are forcing me to put my thoughts to paper, and then the action step that I want to do.
Yeah. And then so the next section that we talked about, we're really creating patients for life. So this section is all about, this category is all about, attraction, retention, and converting patients. So we looked for the top leaders in the space that are doing things where they could really teach us the tools, the strategies, and the tactics that we needed. I spoke with Dr. Brian Johnston, who has an entire program on how to get more Google reviews. And he breaks down the 3 campaigns that you should be running in your practice for retention strategies to enhance the social proof related with Google reviews and to keep patients engaged. So I thought that was really good.
I interviewed Julie McLaughlin, and Julie is just so knowledgeable. We had a good laugh at the end of her interview, because she told me, she's like, Natalie, I don't know how you keep up with all this stuff you do. I said, Julie, I don't know how you keep up either. I mean, the woman is coaching other doctors, in the functional medicine world. And basically she talked about how to get yourself out there in your community by creating talks. She gave 3 months of her marketing calendar, so you can see how she is organizing herself. And I myself passed it on to my social media gal, and I say, okay, let's sit down and let's integrate some of that stuff. I've also spoke to Dr. Jennifer Rosenhart, who is with Close for Chiro, and we really talked about the second visit or the third visit or the combination of both, and how you can convert patient onto chiropractic care. So she had some good pearls for us in that department.
Yeah. So moving on, we talked about passive revenue, the passive revenue category, or just how to boost revenue in your business. Now, there was a bunch of different talks. Maybe I'll just highlight a few, but we had Nicole Willis, who breaks down exactly how to use white labeled or private labeled supplements in your business and how easy it is to do that. And she showed examples of what other people are doing in their practice, which I thought was great, because when we look at expert positioning and we look at a tool that you can use, I mean, how does it look when somebody comes into your practice and you have these private labeled supplements specific to the care that you want them to have? And so she broke that down for us. We also spoke with Dr. Billy Sticker. He's not a doctor. He broke down how to write, publish, and promote a book in 90 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that was kind of crazy. Dr. Krista Burns was on, and she basically gave us an entire strategy to grow your practice by 100K in a year. using a very specific tool. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want you to go and listen to the summit, listen to her recording. She's brilliant. She's doing amazing things in the industry. And she really delivered. Dr. Aviva Ram, who's a medical doctor in the in the natural space, she told us how she built her business almost organically and how she used charity as a tool to give back. So hers was all about, how to pay it forward and, still build a thriving practice. So that's a really interesting one to go and listen to. She is a massive brand. A good friend of mine, Lori Kennedy, who does a lot of work with online courses and teaching you how to build your own online program. She broke down how you can have an online program to support your in-practice business, or if you're looking to do more virtual stuff, how to create your signature online program. And I love this guy because I'm totally addicted to the Brain Tap machine right now. But Dr. Patrick Porter was on, and he is the founder of Brain Tap, and he talks all about this tool that you can add in for additional revenue, enhancing your patient success. And the greatest thing about it, in my humble opinion, is that it doesn't take more time out of the practitioner to grow an additional revenue stream in your business.
I told you, Brandy, that I had a brain crush on Dr. Porter, literally, because I've been using the technology for a while now, and I just love his content as well. I interview Dr. Tabor Smith, who talked about his spinal hygiene and how it's really changed the way he's running his practice, and he's giving some great insights. I also interview Dr. Stacy Blumey, who talks about CBD and how, she's integrated it in her practice. And what I really liked about her talk is she gave us the connection with chiropractic, and it just makes so much sense to me as a practitioner and any other health practitioner.
Well, CBD is so hot right now, and I don't think people know enough about it or know what to do with it, but it's a massive opportunity for practices in this space.
And I think Stacy, in the short amount of time that she had, did a great job for all of us to feel a little bit more comfortable about it all. Now, the second last category was rock solid system. And I interview Deborah Casera, and we talked about profit first. And that's so important because obviously we're practitioners, but at the end of the day, we're our business owner and we have to treat it as such. I spoke with Dr. Stephanie Rosenhart as well on hiring or getting an associate into your practice, and the things that you should do and the things you shouldn't do. And I think we can all learn by our own mistakes, but Stephanie's come up with a pretty neat way to hire associate. And the question that you should ask yourself to make sure that you're hiring for the right reason. And I took note on that one. And I also interview Dr. Stu Hoffman, and we talked about the risk and the rewards of social media marketing and so forth. So again, as I was listening to the talk, I'm like, wow, my social media policy for my office is not updated. And, I just was making note to self, need to update that section.
Yeah, well, I had a few different interviews in this category. One of them was with Dave Ruel, who's the founder of EFIC, and which is he has an entire business model, but he also has this guide, which is a day-to-day, what do you call them? A calendar, like a reminder. No, it's not the right word. Anyway, he talks about how to make more money by noon. So how to focus on the top things that are going to drive the needle forward in your business and how to categorize them and schedule them. So I thought that was brilliant. I also spoke with Dr. Randy Ross, who breaks down appreciation marketing and what you need to know about not just looking internally or externally, but looking internally and how to enhance the quality of your relationships internally. I also spoke with Kim Clapp, who broke down how to train and really have your team on fire and what that looks like from an infrastructure standpoint. So that was really good.
Cool. And the last category was all about stepping into your power. And I somehow ended up doing all the interviews. So I interviewed Dr. Liz Anderson Peacock, and Liz has just been a mentor of mine in the past several years. And her wisdom Liz is just vibrating at a different level. Every time I spend time with her, like I'm vibrating. I also interviewed Dr. Fabrizio Mancini, and we can almost say the same thing about Dr. Mancini. He just talked about his 5 fab and fabulous thing that you can do that are his principle, and
and he talks all about protecting your energy too, right? Like we wanted this to be more about healing the healer, making sure that while you're giving, you're also protecting yourself, you're staying motivated, you're staying energized, because at the end of the day, we know that there's a lot of issues with feeling burnt out when you're, kind of that 7-year itch when you're into your practice. So we thought, well, who can we bring onto this summit that's really going to help break down how to protect yourself and how to keep yourself motivated while you're healing the world. And remember, if you haven't registered, marketingandpracticegrowthsummit.com, get in there, register. It's free. There's literally 40 different talks over 5 days. So there is so much gold in there for you to take advantage of.
And just to remind people too, that a virtual summit, you don't have to travel. You don't have to miss days out of your life or your practice. So, we're bringing you all of this information and you have access to it, whenever you want. I also interviewed Dr. Monica Berger, who talked about making the right decision when your life is changing and when it is time to potentially modify the way you're practicing. I also interviewed Dr. Linda Slack, who shared, how, she went about having her kids and how she molded her practice to suit her lifestyle, and how she's, don't like the balanced life and work kind of aspect, but how she's merged the two together. And also talked to Dr. Janice Hughes, who talked about your exit strategy and what it looks like, because, like everything, we have to start with the end in mind. And I think as practitioners, we just go in and into the day-to-day stuff, and we're not necessarily thinking about our exit strategy. And Janice got a really strong background in other businesses as well. So it's nice to hear her feedback coming at it from a business owner that's not necessarily just in the chiropractic world.
Yeah. And so we've literally put together everything from we've got Facebook experts, Instagram experts. We even have a talk on how to grow your audience with YouTube. We talk about, how to build charity into your business to give back. We talk about protecting yourself, the healer. We talk about adding additional systems into your business to make sure that you're growing and you're not, growing on the hamster wheel. And then we have strategically put them together in a way that there's value every single day for you. And if you're interested in dropping in, getting the playbook, then you can seriously start taking some action. The entire purpose of this is to amplify the effect of practitioners in this industry so that together we can grow more awareness to natural health. So we really hope you take the chance, join up for free, hit us up in the Facebook group for there. There's a bunch of free giveaways. We've got some amazing sponsors for this summit as well. We've had Full Script, which is an online supplement company. We've got Go Chiro TV, Designs for Health, Brain Tap, CLA, Chiro Secure. We've got Profit First Chiro and HCF seminars, all amazing sponsors doing things in this industry to help benefit you. And again, to grow and amplify our voices. So we really hope that you join us. We've done a ton of work on this and we're super excited to just launch it out into the world.
And I think I'm going to challenge people that, if you're a health practitioner, a chiropractor, reach out to 10 of your friends that should be watching this summit. And then maybe start an accountability group with these people and say, okay, every week we grab one speaker and we listen, and then we get on the phone, or maybe you do 2 or 3 at the same time and discuss, okay, what have you learned? What did it make you think about? What are the things that you want to change? Because let's face it, at the end of the day, you can listen to all of that stuff, but the key is to set things in action. And sometimes maybe it's not right for you right now, but at least you've got steps that you can follow. So that accountability piece. So right now, after this, just get the link, reach out to 5-10 classmates or friends that are in the industry, and this would be great to start an accountability group, right?
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a great idea. I mean, it's all about taking action. If you want to grow your expert positioning, you want to grow your business, you want to attract, retain more patients, you want to have better systems, this is it. This is like health industry, grow your practice 101. And it just starts with you taking a bit of action. So we really hope you enjoy it. And we hope to see you in the Facebook group where we're going to be jamming on what's going on each day with the summit. So we'd love to connect with you there too.
Awesome. So this was Dr. Natalie Beauchamp and my co-host Brandy Kinnear for the Shift Your Practice podcast. And today we reviewed everything that's going to be going on in the Marketing and Practice Growth Summit. So please sign up, participate, and share the love so we can reach more people.
You are listening to the Shift Your Practice podcast with your hosts, Natalie Beauchamp and digital marketing strategist Brandy Kinnear. Both successful seven-figure practice creators in the natural health industry, they've teamed up to bring practitioners all their best business tips, growth strategies, technology tips, and practice marketing tools so you can reach financial freedom. Freedom from overwhelm and start living the life you want on purpose, not by default. This candid duo is keeping it real and straight from the heart. So buckle up and enjoy the ride, and please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times.